Welcome to Strategic Spark. Today we're tackling something pretty essential, I'd say, for anyone in business, really anyone navigating today's world, and that's change management.
It is.
We've got this fantastic guide from Quantive that we'll be using as we go through this to break down key frameworks and principles
Right.
for not just surviving change, but, really thriving in it.
Yeah, it's true. Change is the one constant, and how well we manage it can really determine whether an organization sinks or swims.
So let's just dive right in.
Mhm.
What exactly IS change management? I think we all kind of have an idea, but
Yeah.
let's get specific. Why should our listeners care about getting good at this?
Well, change management is essentially a structured approach to guiding an organization from its current state to a new desired state.
Okay.
And it's a roadmap that helps minimize disruption, maximize success, and it's
Yeah.
not just for executives or project managers or anything like that. I mean, change affects us all from the ground floor to the C-suite. Whether it's a new software implementation, a shift in leadership, or even a company merger, change can create a lot of anxiety and uncertainty.
For sure.
And change management provides the tools and strategies to navigate those choppy waters effectively.
So it's about taking that feeling of like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And turning it into,
Right.
okay, I know what to do and I can adapt.
Precisely. And to do that, we need frameworks.
Okay.
Our guide highlights several, and one that I find particularly helpful is the 5 Rs framework.
5 Rs. Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So each R represents a crucial step in the change process. The first one is review.
Okay.
Before you can even think about implementing a change, you need a crystal clear understanding of your starting point.
Gotcha.
What's the current situation? What needs to change? What data do you have to support this?
Uh-huh.
It's like a doctor diagnosing a patient before prescribing treatment.
You can't fix what you don't understand.
Oh, exactly. Once you've got a solid grasp on the what and the why behind the change, you move into the research phase.
Okay.
And this is where you dig deep into industry trends, study case studies of similar changes, and identify potential risks. And this is where Quantive's platform Strategy AI can really shine.
Okay.
They leverage the power of AI to analyze massive amounts of data, identify patterns, and provide actionable insights that can help you make informed decisions and anticipate potential roadblocks.
So it's like having a data-driven crystal ball.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And once you've done your homework, it's time to move into the remarket phase.
Remarket. So it's like we're marketing the change itself.
Precisely. You're selling the change both internally to your team and externally to clients and stakeholders.
Okay.
This involves crafting a compelling narrative that clearly communicates the benefits of the change, addresses concerns, and gets everyone excited about the future. And I found that data-driven insights can be incredibly helpful here. When you can back up your vision with hard numbers and show people the potential impact, it's much easier to get buy-in.
It's about making the change feel less like a disruption and more like an opportunity.
Exactly. And that brings us to the redesign phase.
Okay.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
Okay.
You're updating processes, roles, even systems to align with the new reality.
So we're not just talking about like high-level strategy here. We're talking about the actual
Oh.
implementation.
Precisely. This might involve retraining employees, creating new job descriptions, or even implementing new technology solutions. It's the practical nuts and bolts stage where you turn the vision into a tangible reality.
Okay.
And finally, we arrive at relaunch. This is where you go live with the changes.
Okay.
But it's not a set it and forget it scenario. You need clear communication, measurable goals, and ongoing tracking to ensure the change sticks. And it's important to celebrate wins along the way. Recognizing and rewarding early adopters and celebrating milestones can create a positive feedback loop and keep that momentum going.
So it sounds like the 5 Rs create a really comprehensive framework. It takes you from initial assessment all the way through to implementation and beyond.
That's the beauty of it. It's a step-by-step roadmap that can help you manage change effectively from start to finish. And if you're feeling overwhelmed by the research phase, head over to quantive.com. Their tools can be a game changer. So the 5 Rs are definitely a great starting point. It gives us a clear roadmap. But to really make change stick,
Okay.
we need to kind of dig a little deeper. Think of it this way. The 5 Rs tell us what to do, but we also need to understand how to do it effectively.
Okay, I see what you mean. So like, what are the ingredients for success? What makes for a smooth and impactful change process?
That's where the 5 Cs come in. And this framework really focuses on those key elements that drive successful transitions. And the fascinating thing is they all kind of work together.
All right, lay the 5 C's on me. I'm ready.
First up is communication,
Okay.
arguably the most critical of all. You need absolute clarity in your messaging
Okay.
about the why behind the change, the how of the process, and the what's next as you move forward.
So no room for mixed messages or uncertainty.
None whatsoever. If people are left wondering why things are changing,
Mm.
it breeds resistance and confusion. Next, we have commitment. Leaders absolutely must be all in, walking the talk, demonstrating their belief in the change, and using data-driven insights can be incredibly powerful here, showing everyone this isn't just a whim, it's a move backed by solid evidence.
Yeah, it's like you said earlier about like reselling the change. If leadership isn't fully on board, why should anyone else be?
Precisely. Now, even with clear communication and committed leaders, change can still feel isolating if it's approached in silos, and that's why collaboration is our third C. It's about breaking down those departmental barriers and fostering genuine teamwork. When people feel like they're part of a collective effort,
Yeah.
ownership increases and resistance naturally decreases.
So change becomes less of like a top-down decree and more of a shared journey.
Exactly. Now, we can't forget the human element here. People need to feel valued and recognized for their efforts,
For sure.
especially during times of transition. That's where compensation comes into play.
Okay.
And this isn't always about monetary rewards, although those can certainly be motivating. It's
Yeah.
about acknowledging and appreciating those who are embracing the change, going above and beyond, or even just demonstrating a positive attitude.
Yeah, it's about making people feel seen and appreciated throughout the process. Like, my efforts matter.
Yes. A simple thank you, public acknowledgement of achievements, even small tokens of appreciation can go a long way. It shows people that their efforts are noticed and valued. And
It creates a culture where change is not just accepted, but celebrated.
you got it. And that brings us to our final C culture. If a company's culture is rooted in adaptability and a willingness to embrace new challenges, change becomes less daunting and more readily accepted.
So it's not just about this one specific change. It's about fostering a mindset that's ready for whatever comes next.
Exactly. These 5 Cs, woven into the very fabric of an organization, create a foundation for not just surviving change, but actually thriving in it.
Okay.
But let's get even more practical here. How do we actually put these principles into action?
Now that is the million-dollar question. What steps can people take to make change happen effectively?
Well, our guide outlines a really useful 5-step process for implementing change management principles. It starts with preparation. This is all about laying the groundwork for success by creating awareness, building buy-in, and reducing resistance up front.
Okay.
And this is another area where AI insights can be a real game changer.
Okay, you've piqued my interest now.
Yeah.
How can AI help with something as human-centric as change management?
Well, AI-powered tools, like Quantive Strategy AI, can help you identify potential roadblocks early on. Imagine being able to predict which departments or individuals might be resistant to change,
Wow.
and then tailoring your approach accordingly.
So it's about using data to inform your strategy
Yeah,
and make the process smoother.
precisely. It's about understanding the human dynamics at play and using technology to navigate them more effectively.
Okay.
And remember, if you're curious about how AI can revolutionize your change management initiatives, Quantive offers a wealth of resources on their website. Check them out at quantive.com.
I'm definitely adding that to my to-do list.
Yeah.
So what comes after the preparation phase?
Once you've got the groundwork laid, it's time for planning.
Okay.
This is where you develop a detailed roadmap for the change, outlining your objectives, stakeholders, timelines, and metrics. Think of it like creating a blueprint for success.
So no more flying by the seat of our pants.
Exactly. With a solid plan in place, you can move into the implementation phase.
Yeah.
This is where you put the plan into action, coordinating across teams, communicating constantly, and making sure everyone is on the same page. Remember, transparency is key throughout the entire process.
Keep everyone in the loop every step of the way.
Absolutely. And even with the best laid plans, things don't always go perfectly. That's why monitoring is so crucial. You need to track progress in real time, make adjustments as needed, and stay flexible in the face of unexpected challenges.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we live in an age where there are amazing real-time tools to help us do just that.
So not just setting it and forgetting it.
Yeah.
It's about constant vigilance and adaptation.
Precisely. And finally, we come to the sustainability phase.
Okay.
How do we make sure this change sticks? Ongoing support, training, and evaluation are essential. It's about embedding the change into the very fabric of the organization so it becomes part of how we do things around here,
Yeah.
not just a temporary initiative.
So it's about creating a culture of continuous improvement
Yeah.
and making sure that the change becomes part of the company DNA.
Exactly. And each of these steps, preparation, planning, implementation, monitoring, and sustainability, is critical for achieving long-term success.
This is all so practical and actionable. I feel like I could take these steps and apply them to any change initiative, big or small.
That's the goal. But there's one more piece of the puzzle that we need to discuss, and those are the principles that underpin effective change management.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's the secret sauce?
Well, the guide lays out 5 key principles,
Okay.
and I think they're brilliant. First and foremost is vision. You need a clear, shared vision for the change that everyone can get behind. This gives everyone a sense of purpose, direction, and unity. Without it, you're just going through the motions.
So paint a picture of the future that everyone can buy into and get excited about.
Exactly. Next up is engagement. You need to involve people in the process, listen to their feedback, make them feel heard and valued.
Uh-huh.
Change is far more likely to be embraced when people feel like they're part of the journey, not just passengers along for the ride.
That makes a lot of sense. Nobody wants to feel like change is being forced upon them.
Right. And then there's training. Equipping people with the skills and knowledge they need to thrive in the new reality shows that you're invested in their success. And it also helps build confidence and reduce anxiety.
Invest in your people. Invest in success.
Absolutely. Now, this one might seem obvious, but it's often overlooked. Resources. People need adequate time, tools, and support to adapt to change. Don't set them up for failure by expecting them to do more with less.
You can't expect people to embrace change if they don't have the means to do so.
Exactly. And finally, feedback. Regularly collect and incorporate feedback from all levels of the organization and use it to course correct, make improvements, and ensure that the change is working for everyone.
So it's not a one-way street. It's about constant dialogue and adjustment.
You nailed it. These 5 principles, combined with the 5 steps we just discussed, create a powerful framework for navigating change effectively.
This has been incredibly insightful. We've covered the what, the why, and the how of change management. But theory is only helpful if we can see it in action.
Right.
And our guide actually features a compelling real-world example
Yeah,
that illustrates how these concepts can be applied in a real business setting.
absolutely. Are you ready to dive into the case of RetailWorks?
You bet.
Yeah.
Tell me how they use these concepts to drive real, tangible results. So tell me about RetailWorks. What kind of business are they and what challenges were they facing?
So RetailWorks is a mid-sized retail company, and they were grappling with a problem that's all too common these days, declining customer satisfaction due to, sluggish order processing.
Yeah.
In today's fast-paced world, speed and efficiency are everything.
Right.
Customers just don't have the patience for delays.
It's the Amazon effect.
Yeah.
Everyone expects things to happen like instantaneously.
Exactly. So RetailWorks recognized they needed to make a change. But instead of just, throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something stuck, they took a strategic approach. They turned to Quantiv's Strategy AI platform to analyze their data and pinpoint exactly where the bottlenecks were occurring.
Smart move. Data-driven decision-making is crucial for any successful change initiative.
Absolutely. And through their analysis, they discovered that their order management process was desperately in need of a streamlining. So they decided to implement a new customer relationship management system, a CRM.
CRMs have become so essential for businesses of all sizes these days. They can really make a difference in terms of efficiency and customer service.
For sure. But simply choosing a new system is only half the battle. They needed to ensure the transition was smooth and successful.
Wow.
And that's where those principles of change management really came in.
Okay, gotcha.
They used Quantiv's tools to anticipate potential roadblocks and proactively address them before they even launched the new system.
So they were thinking ahead, planning for those potential challenges.
Yes. And they understood that getting their employees on board was critical.
Right.
They essentially remarketed the change internally, making sure employees understood how the new CRM would not only benefit the customers,
Yeah.
but also make their own jobs easier and more efficient.
It's about creating a win-win scenario where everyone benefits.
Exactly. And then came the redesign phase. Leadership worked closely with Quantiv's AI-powered projections to restructure workflows and integrate the CRM seamlessly.
Okay.
And, they were constantly monitoring progress and making adjustments in real time based on the data.
It sounds like they were incredibly agile and responsive throughout the process.
They were. And when it came time to relaunch, communication was key.
Yeah.
They used Quantiv's digital collaboration tools to ensure everyone was in the loop every step of the way. Teams from different departments worked together, tested the new system, and focused on achieving those, customer experience goals.
So it wasn't just about implementing new technology. It was about fostering collaboration and a shared commitment to success.
Precisely. And to reinforce that positive momentum, they implemented the compensation principle
Okay.
by recognizing and rewarding individuals and teams who embrace the change and help them achieve their goals.
Yeah.
This fostered a culture of appreciation and involvement.
Celebrating the wins is so important. It keeps that energy high and reinforces those positive changes.
Absolutely. And the story doesn't end there. Even after the CRM was implemented, they didn't just rest on their laurels.
Right.
They provided ongoing training and support to their employees to ensure they had the knowledge and resources to thrive in the new environment. They also continued to monitor their key performance indicators and adapt to new challenges as they arose.
So they essentially embedded continuous improvement into their company culture.
Exactly. They understood that change management isn't a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. RetailWorks truly embraced a holistic, strategic approach to change, and the results speak for themselves. They saw a significant improvement in customer satisfaction, streamlined their operations, and ultimately boosted their bottom line.
It's inspiring to see a real-world example of how these concepts can be applied to drive such positive outcomes.
Yeah.
What a fantastic story of success.
It really is. And, I think it highlights the power of embracing change rather than fearing it. With the right tools and the right mindset, organizations can navigate even the most complex transitions and emerge stronger on the other side.
This has been an incredibly insightful conversation about change management. I feel like we've covered so much ground, from understanding the core principles to seeing them in action in a real-world setting. If our listeners are ready to take their own change management skills to the next level, what would you recommend as a first step?
I would definitely encourage them to visit Quantiv.com. Quantiv offers a wealth of resources, including their AI-powered Strategy AI platform that can help organizations of all sizes plan, implement, and manage change effectively.
That's a great resource. Thanks for sharing that. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into change management. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling energized and ready to embrace the exciting changes that lie ahead.
Me too. It's been a fantastic conversation.
Huge thank you to our listeners for joining us on Strategic Spark today. We hope you found this episode insightful and inspiring. Remember, change is a constant, but with the right approach, it can be a catalyst for growth and innovation. Now go forth and make some positive change.
Thank you for listening to Strategic Spark.